Hey, it's the Empire, Geoboxing Empire, Boxing Boxing. Now, my boy Errol Spence, man, he has some choice words for Manny Pacquiao in his Twitter post, man. Now, Errol Spence Jr. says that Manny Pacquiao ducked him and that he came to one of his fights hoping that his opponent would win, when in fact Errol Spence won in complete dominant fashion. And when Pacquiao seen that, he came in the ring with Errol Spence, but not in the intent to fight him. Because, like I said, he thought his opponent was going to win. But Errol Spence completely dominated the fighter, right? And now this is Errol Spence's tweet. He says, "Now that I think of it, Manny Pacquiao came to my fight in Dallas hoping Mikey Garcia would win. And he was going to get the mic and challenge him, just like Danny did me. LOL. And Sean did I. Sean did Danny, and so on." So basically, Errol Spence is saying that every time people come to his fights, the people think the opponent's going to win. But it happens that Errol Spence always dominates the fight. And the people getting in the ring, they're getting in the ring expecting the loser to really win, but Errol Spence won. And when they get in the ring, they put on the front like they want to fight, but they really don't have any true intentions to fight Errol Spence Jr. Now, it's wild because I remember when Danny Garcia first went up to 147, Sean Porter, Keith Thurman, everyone wanted to fight Danny Garcia. And, the thing is, there's fights to be made at the division that just weren't made at the time. They could there's still fights they can be fighting each other before they start fighting a guy coming up in weight. But people, if they really want to fight, they can get the fight. Same thing with Sean Porter. When Sean Porter came in the ring and, and was defeated by Errol Spence Jr., a lot of people thought Sean Porter had a really good chance of winning that fight. But he didn't win that fight. So, I can go on and on about all the big fights that Errol Spence Jr. had that were supposed to be competitive fights, but Errol Spence ended up dominating them, if not dominating them, dropping a fighter. In Sean Porter, he got dropped in the fight. It was devastating left hook. So that being said, I think it'd be a really good fight for Errol Spence Jr. to fight Manny Pacquiao. The thing is, a lot of people say that, Manny Pacquiao's proven too much and he doesn't really need to do anything anymore. The problem is the guy has a title. And if you have a title, you're going to have to fight these young lions to keep the title. So if, Manny Pacquiao don't want to fight any legit opponents and he wants to pick and choose, he has the right to pick and choose. Drop the belt though. If you don't want to be fighting the best, just don't have the belt because you're holding things back before so these other people can get shine. So, a lot of people talk about Errol Spence Jr. and Errol Spence Jr. and Terrence Crawford. And that's a good fight too, but you can't just leave Manny Pacquiao out of it because, like I said, he's a world champion as well, and he should be part of the conversation. Whatever he proved or not, it doesn't matter. Some people want to protect Pacquiao by saying he's done too much, which like I said, he has a title, he has to be seen. So that fight with Keith Thurman was a good fight for Manny Pacquiao. It's the best I've ever seen him in years, and we're gonna see if he can continue to dominate the welterweight division. And if fighting Errol Spence Jr. would be a really good start if he could pull it off. Manny Pacquiao, he hasn't been talked. It is, at least as far as I'm concerned, I haven't heard him fighting anyone yet. But there's been rumors talking about he wants to fight Mikey Garcia, and Mikey Garcia, like I said, lost to Errol Spence Jr. All the fights that Manny Pacquiao wants right now are fights that are easier fights than he could otherwise have, right? And like I said earlier, Errol Spence Jr. completely dominated Mikey Garcia. Manny Pacquiao went in the ring with the intent of fighting Mikey Garcia, but that didn't happen. But regardless, he still wants to fight the guy coming off a loss. So, that's where I see Manny Pacquiao going in the future. I see him fighting Mikey Garcia, and we're gonna see how the whole thing plays out. Mikey Garcia is still an incredible fighter. The guy still only has one loss to Errol Spence Jr. He's still a solid fighter. More of a counter puncher. He really picks and chooses his punches. So, that'd be a really interesting fight between Manny Pacquiao and Mikey Garcia. Mikey Garcia has some really good fundamentals. I think his left hook is better than his straight right hand. So it's gonna be a long night for Mikey Garcia because he's gonna have to take a lot of leather before he can land. And if you know anything about boxing, when you start getting hit with these power shots, they take energy from you. So every time Manny Pacquiao hits you, it's taking a little bit of energy from you, and you're just waiting for that one counter. So, Mikey Garcia, I think it'd be an uphill battle for him versus Manny Pacquiao because Pacquiao throws so many punches. So yeah, man, that fight is most likely going to happen for Manny Pacquiao, and then we're going to see what Pacquiao says after the fight if he wants to fight someone like a Errol Spence Jr. and a Terrence Crawford. But you know, Manny Pacquiao's with PBC, and I just see that fight happening with Terrence Crawford. with Errol Spence a lot easier than a Terrence Crawford. Plus, Bob Arum has a soft spot for Manny Pacquiao, and I heard him say on multiple occasions that he's never going to let Manny Pacquiao fight Terrence Crawford, even after Manny Pacquiao left the promotion. So, you know, wild stuff, man, wild stuff. Let me know how you guys feel about Errol Spence Jr. calling out Manny Pacquiao, man. I think Pacquiao, you know, great fighter, phenomenal fighter, legendary fighter. You know, the guy has done historic things, like had he's went the most weight classes of anyone in boxing history, which is an accomplishment. You know, the guy's a superstar, Filipino superstar, senator, 8th division world champion. Man, I mean, you need not to say more. Let me know how you guys feel about it, though. Like, comment, subscribe. It's the Empire. Geoboxing Empire. Peace.